Hey, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. Ba'ashem. Rakah Kodash. Salakia. So all praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh. Ba'ashem, meaning in the name of Yahweh Shai, being the name of the only begotten Son. I also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful like preaching, swearing the truth and sincerity on the brother Tazim Ba in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp, Lord will, with another video to edify. And I saw this video last night. I wanted to make a lesson on this. And this from Redacted, right? And they're going in. You know, the concern now is get ready for a draft. And these things could be happening. Right? Let me actually look up the age for the US draft. Right there it says Selective Service System, otherwise known as the military draft or conscription, requires almost all male U.S. citizens and migrants ages 18 to 25. So that's the draft, right? It says on September 16, 1940, the United States instituted a Selective Training and Service Act of 1940, which required all men between the ages of 21 to 45. Right? But now it's 18 through 25. Right? This is where we at. Now they're talking about this in Congress because they're not hitting their recruitment numbers. Right? So I'm going to play this, get a few scriptures, and Lord will this be edifying.
Monday through Thursday while we're in the summer, and then back to Monday through Friday once we get back into the school year and back into the routine of the fall. But anyway, go to redacted.inc and sign up for that newsletter. Again, redacted.inc.
All right. Well, are you ready to send your husband, son, or nephew, daughter, relative into war? The military may be calling for a return to the draft. So this makes the war with Russia a very different story, doesn't it? The wars that the U.S. entered in the last 30 or so years have been arm's length away from, I want to say, the middle and upper classes, the young men and women who fought in Afghanistan, Iraq. They were from more largely poor and urban families. They were not the children of Western elites by and large. And this has allowed the U.S. to wage war without too much backlash because it's not the most vocal who make the biggest sacrifices. Now, it's just sort of, upsets us on the news a little. We hear it in the background and we're able to go on with our lives.
Right, and she said it's not the most vocal that makes the most sacrifices. And you damn right it isn't. Right? The elite don't take these sacrifices. The elite don't make these choices. They don't send their kids to war like that. Right? It's always been Jake. It has massively been Jake because that was like the only way for a lot of Jakes to even get to a certain status of their life to where they was able to live some type of way. Right? So they're getting it. And here, Henry Kissinger, let me grab it. You know what? I couldn't find it. I'm forgetting if it's Henry Kissinger or another one. These devils. But he said a soldier is nothing more than galvanized iron. And galvanized iron is what they used to use to make trash cans. Right? So no, they don't care about the everyday person. They don't care about the everyday person. They only care about their pockets of what they're trying to align them with. And this is why they don't mind about calling wars. Right? So I'm going to play this a little more.
We hear it in the background and we're able to go on with our lives. That is literally the entire premise of Rachel Maddow's first book, Draft, from 2012. She makes the case that most Americans do not interact with the military in the way they once did, so it doesn't cost us personally, so we can ignore these wars. It's kind of amazing that over 10 years ago that even the liberal left press...
This is why the Lord said what? He was going to cause them to get on their feet, right? Right? Said, go to the nation that is at ease. Let me get this. And that's exactly what it is. People literally have disassociated themselves from war in America. So what? Now they're fully at ease, right? This is Zechariah 1:15. It says, I am very sorely displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped for the affliction. Who was the Lord a little displeased at? His own people. And the heathen were at ease, man. Esau is at ease. Right? This is where is it at? Nah, Dweller Without Cares. That's the one I want. Yeah, here it is. Jeremiah 49:31. It says, Arise, get you up to the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, say Yahweh, which hath neither bars nor gates, which dwelleth alone. And that's what America's been. This is why they don't worry about, and they disassociate themselves from war. Because they've been the victors for long. People don't even really think about the draft. These people don't even think about the draft. And it's going to happen.
Was comfortable promoting peace rhetoric, speaking out about the military expansion. They don't do that anymore. Now MSNBC's star anchor is one of the most war promoters. Like, Russia's the #1 enemy. We need to go to war with them.
We need to build up our military in order to take on both China and Russia simultaneously.
Yeah.
We need to build up, and because we don't have the forces right now, so we actually need to build up our forces, and we need to do this through a draft. We need to have these numbers because we just don't have the numbers right now. And how are we going to fight both Russia and China simultaneously? This is what MSNBC pushed.
This now, but 10 years ago, they were comfortable pushing Rachel Maddow's book about the horror of military expansion and how it will creep up on us if it is not a sacrifice for all of us evenly, which it is not. So it's kind of amazing how far they pushed away peace rhetoric. But she was right. The military has relied on recruitment from the poorest classes, and the poorest classes have suffered the death toll in countless wars in the Middle East that never should have been. But what if that changes? This is a military.com op-ed calling for a return to the draft, and this publication is generally a pretty good temperature for the pulse of the military and military rhetoric. We will note that it's an opinion piece, but it sufficed to scare me to death as the mother of a teenage boy. I'm not speaking against military service. I want to make that crystal clear.
Now they're sitting there talking about military draft, right, as an option piece, right? So this is the temperature of the air right now, man. This is what people can't get out of their minds, right? They talk about in that same video, and Lord, well, I'll remember to put this in the description. Let me see if I just put it here real quick. I ain't copying and pasting nothing. Let me see. All right. That now they're sitting there talking about the draft. Stuff is getting more real, so people are really starting to take note. Well, the prophets have been telling you this for a minute, for a long time. There is going to be a draft. You got recruitment numbers down for every branch except for the Marine Corps. That means there's going to be a draft. Right? Military tension is gearing up everywhere. There's going to be a draft. This is Jeremiah 3 or Isaiah 3 and 24. It says, and it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, I'll skip that. It says, verse 25, it says, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground, right? Now, the she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. It's talking about 70 AD when they were taken down, right? Conquered by the heathen, right? They even made coins to commemorate that. But this whole thing about thy men shall fall by the sword and thy mighty men of war, hey, there's going to be a drop. Things are going to get pushed right back up to that fever pitch, right? Because this is the nation that dwelleth without cares, and the Lord is preparing them for war. This is Joel 3. Joel 3 and 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, right? Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong, right? The Lord is preparing these nations for war, and he's about to get America right up in it. All right, remember the scriptures tell you the least of the flock is going to draw this devil out. So it's only a matter of time before Israel does some wild shit in Syria, which is going to cause what? It's going to cause Russia to respond. They've already been shooting down those U.S. drones, right? And that's going to get things all in popping. Hey, Lord, will this be the year? Lord, will this be the year? Lord, will sometime this year, early next year, this be the time, man. Right? Because the Lord has something prepared. This place has got to go down, man. It's Revelation 19. Man, on this one, I don't want to make this too long. Fucking people at the house. Revelation 19 and 19. It says, "And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army." So if there has to be an army, right, of nations, there has to be armies of nations, there has to be war. What do you think there's going to be? These nations are going to start pushing for drafts in their own countries. And right, and America's going to get drawn right into that. Remember, the Lord said what? He's going to remove far from us the northern, right? Let me get that. This is Joel 2 and 20. It says, "But I will remove far from you the..." I got to start up a little bit. Joel 2 and 19. It says, "Yeah. Yahweh will answer and say unto his people, Behold, I will send you corn and wine and oil, and ye shall be satisfied therewith. And I will no more make you a reproach among the heathen, but I will remove far from you the northern army," which is talking about the North American army, "and I will drive them into a land barren and desolate." Right? That land barren and desolate is Saudi Arabia, with their face toward the east sea, right? And their hindermost parts towards the utmost sea. That's talking about the two bodies of water. All right, let's get it. Let's talk about the two bodies of water surrounding Saudi Arabia. You have what? The Persian Gulf and the Red Sea. His hinder parts towards the Red Sea, right? What did it say? It says, his face towards the east sea. Let's talk about the Persian Gulf. And his hindermost part to the utmost sea, talking about the Red Sea. And that's where Armageddon is going to happen, the Valley of Troops, right? It says, "And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he had done great things." Right? So a war is being prepared. The heathen being gathered. Right? The draft is getting prepared. Shalom.